Hey guys, happy Sunday. It's so good to be here with you on a Sunday. Don't normally come and do a live on a Sunday, but I thought, hey, why not? It's a beautiful day to do it. And I've had a really great morning. Church was amazing online. I do miss being with my church family together. I'm sure you all do too, for those of you that go to church. But it's actually kind of nice, and sometimes I get up and get ready, and other times I'm in my PJs, and I think that Jesus probably doesn't really care if I'm in my PJs or if I'm dressed up with makeup on. He's just glad I show up. Thank you. My hair, I actually washed it for the first time in quite a few days. But hey, all good, feels so much better. So anyway, I'm just going to here's the thing. I have heard from so many of you, good and, well, controversial, not so good. I've been known, not on much occasion, to bring up some things that are controversial that people seems to spark their attention a little bit, and I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm actually really, really good with, good with communication. I'm really good with people that don't agree with me. I mean, I don't expect, every person to agree with me. It's not the way I live my life. But I think that there is a good standard of protocol, the way to go about things and handle things. I think our response is more important than anything. And so especially in this generation that we live, in this time that we are living, our response to things is just as equally important, or if not more. And how we speak to one another, I think, is very important. For those of us that have children, we've raised our kids up. I continue to struggle with conflicting reports, counting on, yes, we're all struggling. That's the thing. We're all struggling. But how we respond in the struggle really forges our character, really forges our perseverance, forges us as a resilient people, and as individuals, as groups, as communities. And so I want to address that. This isn't the first time that I've posted something where I've gotten a lot of people coming out at the woodwork, people that have followed me for quite some time, and people that have never followed me a day in their life. And so I always kind of laugh when people say, I'm unfollowing you. And I'm like, okay, you never followed me to begin with. You're just here to stir up strife. I do not like bullies. I am not a fan of bullies at all. I used to be bullied as a kid, and then I decided to take up martial arts. And then as I went through martial arts and really became humble and learned integrity, learned honor, even in the face of when there's disagreements, it really humbled me. And when I was diagnosed with cancer and given a year to live back in 2012, that really humbled me. Going through over 20 years of abuse in my life really humbled me. And where there was a time in my life that I had a chip on my shoulder because I had been hurt. I have been hurt in my life. I mean, many people have. I don't really know of many people walking this earth that haven't been hurt one way or another. But I've learned over the years that our response to that bullying, to those hurts that we have inside, really makes all the difference of who we are and how we handle things. So I've learned that I cannot control how people want to speak, how they want to talk, what they want to say about me or our health community here, or about my church, or about whatever. But I'm going to speak on my behalf of what I know. I always say, listen, I am not perfect by any means. I'm the first to apologize if I need to. Anybody that's ever followed me for a good amount of time knows my heart, knows my intentions. And so when those kind of negative things come up, or people accuse or try to tear down my character, I'm always like, you could say and do all you want, but I know who I am. I know who created me. I know whom I belong to. And I know that those words don't define who I am. If that was the case, let me tell you, that would have happened many, many years ago. So nice try out there, but it doesn't work. And I don't succumb to peer pressure at all. And I've learned over the years that I don't have to respond right away, because I don't feel that's from God. I feel like when we respond hastily, when we respond without really sitting and thinking about it and gathering up thoughts and praying about it and the best way to respond to things, that's when I believe that we're being led then by the Spirit of God and not by the spirit of fear and distraction. So it is a time. I really believe that this is a time to join the Lord invitation to test, but really joining the invitation to come closer and deal with our internal stuff. I totally agree. And I want to tell you, for those of you that are on here joining, I got so much response from, so if you're all wondering like what the heck I'm talking about, there's a post that we did the other day, and it was talking about the difference between the coronavirus and the flu. Wow, you would have thought, man, I've said I think about all the things that I talk about health-wise, and talking about not being able to build your body up and destroy it at the same time, talking about how I did not choose to do chemo and radiation, all these things that I talk about that in some ways are very controversial to our world and as people. I thought, wow, this is the one that did it for people. And so what was the trigger? And a lot of times when things trigger me personally, I often have to take a step back and say, why did that trigger me? Was there something in me that I need to deal with personally? Okay. I'm not saying that every person some of you were just downright mean and vicious. Your point is not to talk and communicate like an adult. Your point was to fearmonger, to be a bully. And I honestly don't have time for that. But for those of you, some of you were very sincere, you didn't agree with the post at all. And you messaged me. You messaged me with respect and honor, the same that I gave back to you. You shared with me your position, which I was so thankful for. We got to dialogue back and forth, whether we agree to disagree or see each other's side. The point is that we just got to be able to share how each of us felt. And that is, and to me that's wonderful. We don't have to agree all the time. It's okay to disagree, but it's how we respond to these things. And this is a lot of we are so wound tight. Our society here, I can only speak for the United States. I have been to Spain, and boy, I love how their approach to life, definitely more relaxed. I don't know if that's all of Europe, how that works, but and where I was in Spain, but here in the United States, man, we are wound up tight, and it's like we're just looking to fight over anything and everything. And a lot of that stems from our own fear, our own anxiety, our own hurts, our own pains, things that happen to us, not even during this time, but even years and years ago. And so I saw that in the post, and I saw that wasn't even me. And then some of you are just incredibly mean to one another. And I thought, man, how do we respond to that? What do we do? Okay. So I'm not going to respond. I'm not here again. Nothing that I do is here to make you think a certain way. You don't have to believe anything I say. I'm here to inform. I'm an advocate. I'm a health coach. I'm a health advocate. My degree is in physical therapy, nutrition. I've got different certifications. Okay. But I have walked through some incredible things in life, all the way from being diagnosed with cancer, being told to die, divorce, abuse. I mean, we all have a story, all right? And so I just want to talk about what I know and what I believe. And then it's up to you to just take all of this and do with it what you will. Pray about it. Research on your own. I have always been, if you have listened to me for any length of time, you know that I am an advocate of you being an advocate, for you going out and researching, for you deciding what it is that you want to do. I'm just here to inform, to give truth, and remove as much fear and bring as much hope as we can, okay? So that's what I'm here for. So I want to just give you some information, all right? Let's just, first of all, I'm not the biggest fan of the CDC. I'm not a big fan of Big Pharma. I'm not a big fan of a lot of things that are happening here, okay? That's me personally. You may be different. I'm a huge fan of the doctors, the nurses, the health practitioners that are out there having to be part of a system that is corrupt, but are going out day in and day out, and they're making a difference, and they're saving lives, and they're taking care of people regardless. First responders, firefighters, police officers, anybody. I mean, that is, I love it. I may not always choose to go the route of traditional medicine, but I believe that there are other systems that are in place that are overseeing these things. And you have these people out there that are loving and helping one another because their heart is right, but they're also having to work under a system and systems of things that I believe are absolutely corrupt. Absolutely corrupt. So, but since most of you really like the CDC and feel that they're doing a phenomenal job and that they are honest and upright, let's just go here for a moment, okay? So I'm going to talk about, so the thing was, there are more, the Post actually read, which it's on there, and I it's been a couple days. Listen, yeah, most people. All right, so let's just go here. Heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular disease. This is approximately, according to the American Heart Association, all right, and the CDC, approximately 2,150 Americans die every single day just from heart disease. 2,150 Americans. I'm not talking globally. I'm just talking about Americans right now, okay? That is one person every 40 seconds is dying from some sort of heart condition, cardio disease, all right? Heart disease, stroke, or something other related to cardiovascular disease. That's every single day, okay? That's today, the day that we live in, okay? Cardiovascular disease accounts for 17.3 million deaths per year, okay? And they expect that, okay? We're still talking about our American Heart Association and the CDC, okay? Centers for Disease Control, if you want to know what that is. So cardiovascular disease is accounting for 17.3 million deaths per year, and that is expected to grow to more than 23.6 million people for 2030 that will die by 2030. That's in 10 years from now, okay? All right, these numbers are compiled, once again, by the AHA and the CDC. About 85.6 million Americans alone are living with some form of cardiovascular disease. Let's just remember, we're going to go over lifestyle diseases. So just remember that word, lifestyle disease, okay? Heart disease is the #1 killer among Americans, killing over 375,000 people in a year. So based in the United States alone, one person every 40 seconds is dying just from heart disease, okay? All right, now let's go to cancer. So heart disease is the leading death in the United States. Cancer is number 2, all right? 1,660 people. Actually, the numbers are that one says 1,660, other place says 1,664, okay? I'm gonna count all the people. So let's just say 1,664 people will die today of cancer, all right? That's 606,520 people that are estimated to die this year alone, 2020, okay? 1 out of 2 men are diagnosed with cancer every day. 1 out of 3 women are diagnosed with cancer every day. 46 children are diagnosed with cancer every day. And 1 out of 5 of those 46 children that are diagnosed every single day will not live. They will die, those children. That's like a classroom of children to me. If you could just picture a classroom of children, 46 children every single day is being diagnosed with cancer, and 1 out of 5 of those children will die from that, okay? All right, 250 kids globally every single day are dying from cancer. That's just from cancer. The flu, globally, 250,000 to 500,000 deaths a year alone. 250,000 to 500,000 deaths per year for the flu. Okay, let's keep going here. And then we're gonna get to something very important. This is all very important. HIV, all right? HIV has affected 75 million people. 75 million people HIV has affected, even with a vaccine that they have come up with. People are dying in masses from HIV. 32 million people have already died globally from HIV, even with a vaccine that was made available, okay? 1.1 million Americans are diagnosed with HIV every year, okay? Whew. Let's keep going, shall we? All right, let me see, leading deaths. Okay, I wanna give you the top 10 leading, nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about this. And I'd like you, listen, okay, let me keep going, and then I have a couple things I want to say. All right, now this is per the USA, okay? Again, I am not in other countries, and I have had some of you message me from other countries and have told me what's happening there, and my heart just goes out to you. It really does. And so I could only speak for what I know here. And I know that the entire world is being affected by this pandemic. I'm not stupid. I am not illiterate. I'm very smart, actually. Not smart with everything, but I am overall a pretty smart person. I study, I learn, I ask for wisdom, and I believe that God did not give me a spirit of stupidity. I may act stupid at times, but he did not give me a spirit of stupidity. And so I'm created in the image of God, who is the most powerful, the most, perfect, the most intelligent God. And that's how I'm created. So for all of you that continue to message me and tell me how stupid I am, I think that is really stupid. Okay? Again, I may do stupid things, which I have, absolutely, but I am not a stupid person. All right, so in the United States, these are the top 10 per CDC, okay? Per CDC and National Center for Health Statistics. Here we go. Number 1, heart disease. Number 2, cancer. Number 3, accidental unintentional injuries. Wow, that was 160,201 accidental unintentional deaths per year in America. Oh my gosh, who's talking about that? Who is talking about that? I haven't heard anybody talk about that. Stroke, 1, 2, 3, stroke number 4. Alzheimer's, diabetes, influenza and pneumonia, nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, nephrosis, okay? It has to do with kidneys, okay? You can look that up. All right, so those are the top 10 in the United States. Now, I'm not done. Let me go on. Obesity. Obesity contributes to 300,000 deaths per year. 1.9 billion 1.9 billion people are overweight in the United States. 650 million of that 1.9 billion are considered obese. All right, so let's go back to the CDC. Let's go back to our government. Let's go back to Big Pharma. Let's go back to those lobbyists. Let's go back to all that. And I'm going to pose a question. And how, and because in the news and in the media, boy, they have spurred that. They are so for the people. They are so for protecting the people against this coronavirus, this COVID-19. They're so for us. They want us healthy. They want to take care of us. They want to make sure that all Americans are taken care of and live a life, right? Okay, but did you just hear these numbers every single year that are from them? This is their information. Go read it up. It's out there for the world to see, okay? But they're so for us, right? Just like I went into Lowe's the other day, and they had a pallet of Roundup. A pallet of Roundup that they didn't even unload yet onto there. Do you know how many thousands of cases have been that are upon the Monsanto who has made Roundup, where they have evidence that it has created and produced cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, how many billions of dollars they have had to put out because they've lost cases. There's still thousands more, yet our government, yet our states, yet our CDC and Big Pharma are okay with pallets and pallets of Roundup to still be sold because they care so much about us, right? Okay. All right, let's keep going because I get fired up. See, I'm not about saying the F word and saying BS and talking about stupid people. No, people are not informed. They are misinformed. This stuff isn't being talked about. They are listening to a narrative over and over and over of fear and anxieties being created and lies. Now, I'm not saying anybody that says that I am saying that people are not dying because of COVID-19, you're not hearing me right. You're misinterpreting me. You're misspeaking for me. You are not getting your facts accurate. But let's talk about that here in a minute, about COVID-19 and the deaths. We're going to talk about that, okay? Now, remember I talked about lifestyle diseases. I want you to hear, remember I brought up the top 10, heart disease, cancer, accidental, unintentional injuries, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, influenza, pneumonia, nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, nephrosis. Obesity I talked about. Oh, diabetes. I didn't mention diabetes. Let me mention diabetes. Diabetes is the third leading cause of death in the United States. Heart disease being one, cancer being second, which cancer is actually really almost about there right now and almost superseding it. Which that's a whole other topic in itself because things like chemotherapy, drugs, and radiation actually have side effects that can create cardiovascular issues, which then people wind up dying from the treatments as opposed to the actual cancer itself. Okay, all right, but that's a whole other topic. And we can talk about that too, all right? We can keep calling people names, we can keep bullying, or we can just have a nice conversation and talk about this, okay? Diabetes, third leading cause of death. 1.6 million deaths. According to the CDC, here we are again, a new study suggests that this is them saying this. It's all there. All right, according to the CDC, a new study suggests that diabetes accounts for 12% of the United States deaths, not 3.5% what they thought. It's actually increased to now 12%. Okay, some common lifestyle diseases. Alzheimer's, arteriosclerosis, so that has to do with cardiovascular disease. Cancer, chronic liver disease, cirrhosis of the liver, COPD, so respiratory issues, diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease. These are just to name a few lifestyle diseases, okay? And what defines a lifestyle disease? Diet, lack of exercise, drug use, tobacco use, alcohol, stress. Those are just to name a few. All on CDC website. I'm just going off of them, okay? So with that being said, then I received I've received so many thank you for all of you that have sent me messages, such messages of love, messages of encouragement. I am a warrior. I am a fighter. I didn't get to where I am in life if I was a victim my whole life and played the victim. And I am a resilient person. And I just didn't get there overnight. And I played the pity party, and I felt sorry for myself for many years. And I have spoken, very harsh words over my own self. And I have, in my life, a lot of my life, felt really, really bad about myself, my insecurities, all that just over time through that and environmental stress and things people have done to me, the choices and decisions I've made for myself. Really just all of that accumulated into this toxic soup. And then one day, lo and behold, 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer and given a year to live. So listen, there are things that were done to me that no person on the planet should ever have to experience. I'm sure that there are a lot of you, and I know there is because I am a coach and I talk to so many of you all the time, and so does our team, and you write to us for help of all kinds of things. So here's the thing. This is from somebody that's I've gotten so many things. There's so much stuff out there, so I'm not going to talk about what okay. This is in quotes, quote unquote, conspiracy theories. We all can look at things, read things, and then make our decision what we believe. I believe that when we pray and we ask God to give us eyes to see and ears to hear and to know what's happening, that his people hear his voice, and we are very clear on things that we see and what we hear and how to discern what is truth and what is not. And the only way that we can do that is we need to stay very, very close to the Father, which means that we have to allow so many things to drown out so that we can hear that still small voice. That's my belief, might not be yours, but that for me, I've lived on both sides of the coin, and I have found that this has caused me a life to live and to thrive, and to be able to continue to pursue the call that God has on my life, and to be able to help others, okay? Imperfections and all. I'm not perfect. Never claim to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect because I don't want that upon me, because then the expectations out there, you'd all be very disappointed, okay? But this was something that was given to me by, this is by a lawyer, a civil rights advocate, and he said, this is his quote, can we all put politics aside, and maybe y'all should write, you guys can later on look at this, look it up, and then you guys can go back to Stanford, USC, New York. Here's the thing. Can we all put politics aside and realize that the latest virus antibody data from Stanford, USC, and New York City, all of those places, Stanford, USC, and New York City, all show that the lethality of the virus, this COVID-19, this Chinese virus, is extremely similar to the common seasonal flu. This should be the biggest story in America. That was Rogan O. Hanley, not me. That was him. I'm just reporting, okay? Now, it's funny, I wrote on this paper, this one, look at, breathe. Everything is going to be fine for everyone. Really, it is, okay? We can all get through this. Now, here is, okay, Stanford, USC, and New York City. So, listen, I understand that there is a lot of things going on in New York City on the East Coast. I understand that that population is way more dense than other places. I understand that there are more, in concentrated areas like that, there are more deaths. I'm very aware of that. Again, I'm not stupid to this. Do I believe that there is a virus out there? Yes, I believe that there are lots of viruses out there. Do I believe that this virus has the potential to provoke death? Yes, I do. The majority, even on the news, you'll see it said over 85% of people have had a compromised immune system, have had some sort of chronic illness before they were infected with COVID-19. Now, anytime that you have a compromised immune system, I don't care who you are, it is going to be much harder for you to fight. Do you think I got cancer because I had a inept immune system? Heck no. My immune system was shot. If my immune system was functioning in the capacity that God created it to, then cancer would have died and it would not have been allowed to live in my body and take over and then give me a diagnosis from the world of a year to live. So we have to take all of this in consideration. And let me tell you, if you think for a second, there are so many reports out there where they are having that doctors are ordered to put on change death certificates and to put on death certificates that the cause of death is COVID-19. For all of a sudden, everybody, I'm like, isn't it amazing? All of a sudden, nobody's dying from heart disease. I don't know how many people were dying from, if there's 2,150 people dying every single day today from heart disease, are you hearing about it? 1,664 people dying from cancer today. Are you hearing? Where are those numbers? Where are those people? Where's the compassion for them? Yes, I have compassion for everybody and anybody that dies. I was somebody that was told they were going to die. So if you say I don't have compassion for people that are dying, you're dead wrong. I don't know where you're coming up with this. You do not know me from Adam. And I just want to say this, for all of you out there that were spewing on my post and spewing on everybody and making accusations about me and making accusations about other people on there as you were going, these past few days, I have been helping, I cannot tell you, somebody fight for their life who has only been given a few weeks to live. Not making a penny, for those of you that accuse me of making money. I think the whole world then should be accused of making money, because don't we all have jobs? Like, I don't even need to defend where I make my money. But none of you, well, maybe some of you, but the majority of you have no idea what I have given over the years. And I don't have to defend myself for a second. And I'll tell you, even for you that will speak such ugliness, if God forbid something ever happened to you and you have no hope, you call me, you message me, and I will be the first to help you to get the help that you need. I absolutely promise. Absolutely, 100%. Because I care about people and I want to help as many people. Not all people want my help, and that's fine. I'm not here to save the world. I'm just here to bring information and to help those who want it. Okay, I will help them in a heartbeat. And you know what? And I have. When I was first diagnosed with cancer, I had people in my own community, in my own church, where I was at back in Kansas City, that mocked me and told me what a foolish woman I was for going a natural route and doing this, and how foolish I was. And you want to know it? The moment that they got cancer, you know who they called? They called me. And you want to know what? I didn't care about any of that previous stuff. I didn't let it bother me. They needed help, and I was there to help them. And that's the honest to God truth. All right, that's how I live my life, for those of you that don't know me. All right, let's see here. Okay, so this is the other thing that I wanted to talk about as well. This morning I was listening to Pastor Bill. He's my pastor. Oh yeah, for those of you that dogged on my church too, I love Bethel Church. I laugh. Okay, some people on there were like, you must be related to Trump. Some of you, didn't even relate to the topic of health. You mocked my church. You mocked the people there. You said all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, Like, what in the world does that have to do with this post? Like, I don't even get it. Like, whatever. But I'm so proud of my church. I love Bethel Church. I love Pastor Bill Johnson and Benny and those that lead that church. It is unbelievable. You don't have to like it. You can disagree with it. You can think whatever you want, and that's fine. But I know for me, it's my home. I love it. I know the heart of the people there. And so you know what? I'm just going to keep on keeping on. All right. And y'all go wherever you want. Or if you don't go to church, I'm going to pray for you anyway. Okay? All right. So today I was listening to his, listen, if you guys did not hear his message today, because I know if you were listening to your church, you need to listen to Bill Johnson's message today. I was in absolute tear, like just blown away. And this is what he said, and then I want to read a quote. And I want to encourage you now. Like, I'm not going to spend any more time. Like, listen, here's the deal. This is the reality. The biggest illness and pandemic that we have on this planet is chronic illness. I am not saying that viruses don't come up and wreak havoc. They do, and it is. And listen, but I'm going to tell you what. We have viruses come and go all the time. Chronic illness is with us. It's standing the test of time. It doesn't go away. And are they helping you? How in the world? I don't know about what other countries are doing, but I'm going to tell you right now that I know for a fact that there are 60% of the population in America have at least one chronic illness. 40% have at least multiple chronic illnesses. Now, let me tell you something. If our system was working, if this sick system was working, people would be living and not dying. We would have, it would turn around. This 2,150 people of cardio disease, they'd be living today. That 1,664 people that are dying of cancer today would have the possibility to live today. That 46 children, that 1 in 5 children that are dying for cancer would be living today. That our obesity rate would be going down. It wouldn't be going up. Diabetes wouldn't be escalating. It would be going down. Do you understand? This system is not for you. It's completely against you. It's anti-everything. Anti-everything. Go look up. Go see who funds the FDA. Just go look who funds the CDC. Go check out Bill Gates. Go see what he's doing. That coronavirus is patented. Do you know if it's patented? That means a man had to make it. Go check it out, and the same people that are creating it are the same people that are trying to create a mandated vaccine for all of us. Now listen, if you're right, if you're the one that's spewing the hate and telling me that I'm nuts, that I don't know my facts, and I am just a conspiracy theorist, and that I am just out for money, if I'm wrong, all right? If I'm wrong in all of this and you're right, guess what? We all win. It's a win-win. And then I can say, I was wrong, you were right, I'll ask for forgiveness, okay? But if I'm right and you're wrong and you don't heed the truth, then let me tell you, all of our freedom, all of our rights, our children, the generations to come up, they are in for a fight for their life. And you want to know what? This country will not sustain it. This country will not be a country of freedom. This country will be taken over with socialism. This country will not, the rights, the freedoms, your life as you've known it will not be the same again. If I'm right, if you're right, it's a win-win for everybody, and I will apologize. But if I'm right and you don't hear all of us speaking the truth, it's going to be really, really bad. It's going to be really, really tough. But God, But God, I say all that, but God, because he is in control of everything. And you know what? This world will never be the same. And you know what? I'm okay with that, because massive change is happening, because everything that's been in the darkness is coming up and it's being exposed. And I understand that change is different and it doesn't feel good and it's scary and it's unpredictable. But guess what? It's so much better where we're headed now than living in the familiarity of death and living in the familiarity of fear and anxiety and panic. But God. So, this is what Bill Johnson said today, one of the things that rocked my world, and I really highly suggest that you go watch it. And if you've never watched a Bethel message in your life, if you have something bad against Bethel, go listen to Bill Johnson today. I dare you. Here we go. He said, every revival introduces a new reason to be offended. Can I read that again to you? Can I read that again? I'm going to get close right now. Every revival introduces a new reason to be offended. See, you all out there, I'm not saying all, I don't want to say all, but for some of you out there that came at me and others in that post, you see, every revival introduces a reason to be offended. One of my mentors once said, Andrea, be hard to offend. Be hard to offend and easy to forgive. Don't hold on to that offense. It'll only kill you in the end. Don't matter what people say, just keep on doing what you're doing. If you can look at yourself in the mirror every day and you know that you've done the best that you can to the best of your abilities and you've sought God and you've done it even though it's not perfect and you'll make mistakes and you'll do stupid things even though you're not a stupid person, it's going to be okay. But be hard to offend. I didn't get to be a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo to being some wimp and to hold on to offense. Because let me tell you, I've been offended before, and I've got that offended beating a tar out of me before in them rings. Let me tell you, you betcha, I sure have. I didn't win every match. I lost a lot. And I'll tell you what, and I've won a lot, but I sure learned a whole lot more when I lost than when I won. That's right. And then he said this, and this was a quote from a man named Blaise Pascal. I hope I'm saying that right. Blaise Pascal. And Bill described him as a mathematician, a Catholic, and theologian. And I'm going to get up close now again. Okay, yeah, you can see, got some wrinkles. No, it's okay. Sweating, it's a little warm, but I'm on fire today. I feel it. All right, this is what this guy said. Blaise Pascal. This will gonna rock your world. I think it's gonna rock your world like it rocked mine. He said, there's enough light for those who only desire to see, and enough obscurity for those who have a contrary disposition. Would y'all like me to read that one more time? Is this not what is happening? There's enough light for those who only desire to see, and enough obscurity for those who have a contrary disposition. Boom. 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 All right. I'm going to end with this. I love you all. Listen, you know what? One of the things that, I've said, I pray about, and I say, Lord, my thing is, Lord, what are you doing in this time? How can I be your hands and feet? How can I represent you the best? But what the heck are you doing? Like, show me what you're doing. And how can I be the best that I can be in this? It's not for me. Listen, it's not about the numbers on who likes me. Apparently, there's a lot of people that don't. Okay, that's fine. And But what it does is, one of the things that I love is for those people that come out that make themselves known that they don't like me, or they just don't like the world, or they don't like themselves, it gives me an opportunity to pray for you. Whether you know it or not, I do pray for you. You may curse me, but I'm asking God to bless you. I learned that from Bill Johnson. Whoosh! That was a game changer for me. Total game changer for me. So I've been learning through Graham Cook about praying and about crafted prayers, and really just seeking God and saying, what's my inheritance word? What is my inheritance word that you have for me? And learning. Look up Graham Cook. It's amazing. Crafted prayers. Okay. It's this book right here. It's just a little book, but it's just it's so powerful. And I want to read something. This blows me away. I've told you before, I do this 1, 2, 3, go God. I'm sorry, I'm swiping up because I have a group that's they're on fire right now, messaging. And I need to be able to see my time. And so anyway, this has been, I don't know, I say my mantra, but this is these 3 things have been sticking out at me ever since all of this coronavirus started. Stand up, stand for, and stand against. I have been hearing those 3 phrases non-stop. And I really feel like God is really right now not only preparing me, but preparing the world for something. I believe that there is such an awakening taking place right now that is so great. And it's going to cause people to come out, and it's going to cause all kinds of feelings and things to, bubble up to the surface. And it's going to be good, and it's going to be ugly, and it's going to be wonderful. And it's going to be, it's just going to be all these things, and we're going to have to figure out, how do we want to respond to all of this? And we don't have to respond how the world is responding. I've learned many years ago that the world will conform you, but God's word will transform you. And the way we speak and the way we handle ourselves with grace and dignity and honor, even when people are dishonoring and mean and vicious, we can't control that. Let's control how we are. So let's stand up, let's stand for and stand against. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am not one that is going to back down. If I'm wrong, I will apologize. I will be the first to do it. I have no problem with it, okay? But I'm going to tell you, I will not back down. I will not be bullied. You will not silence me. Because I learned when I wrote this book right here, I am resilient, that I am resilient. And God showed me that in this generation, the voice of resiliency has been silenced. And it's been people like that and media and fear-mongering and ugliness that has silenced the resilience in this generation. And we as a people cannot afford to be silent anymore. We cannot afford to be not resilient people. We need our immune systems to be resilient. We need them to be functioning to capacity. We are going to be bringing so much to you. So just stay tuned. Listen, people say, unfollow her. Listen, the reality is I lost 300 followers. Now I lose followers every day, and you gain followers every day. But I lost 300 followers. Did that change my identity and who I am and the message that I'm going to keep? No. What that did is those 300 people that are now off, that just made room for the next 300 people that want to hear the message and want hope and want to be encouraged and want help. That's what I'm talking about. So you know what? I believe in the name of Jesus that our numbers, as somebody said, will triple. And it's not about the numbers. It means that amount of people are now going to come, and we are going to bring them hope. We are going to encourage them. We are going to bring them resources. We are going to bring them tools in order for them to live a life that's optimally, to let them know that you have the power in your hands to be able to take care of yourselves. That health is in your hands. That's what we're saying. Health is in your hands. It's not in the hands of the government. It's not in the hands of Big Pharma. It's not in the hands of Monsanto. It's not in the hands of these fear mongers and people that would like you to just close up shop and never speak out again. I will not back down. And all of it does is fuel me greater. It just fuels me greater, and it lets me know that I'm running the race that I was called to do. My life verse is Acts 20:24. 4, if only I may finish the race and complete the task that the Lord Jesus has given me. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. If I can only finish the race and complete the task the Lord Jesus has given me. It's all that matters to me. So, it's like I told the devil, you're messing with the wrong girl. You're messing with the wrong girl. You tried to take me out from over 20 years of abuse. You tried to take me out from a horrible divorce. You tried to take me out from cancer. You tried to take me out when I was forced into the sex industry for 10 years of my life. You tried to take me out when one of my uncles tried to rape me. You took me out when 6 guys gang raped me. You took me out you tried to take me out when I was 100 pounds overweight, when I had an eating disorder. You tried to take me out on that last post. Do you know that I am going to stand up, I'm going to stand for, and I'm going to keep standing against, and I'm going to keep fighting for people, and I'm going to keep fighting for the rights, and I'm going to keep fighting for the truth, because I was stayed on this earth to live and to bring hope to the world, and that's why I'm still alive. So if you want to keep coming, keep coming. It's okay, because when you can't stand no more, I'm going to keep standing. I'm going to keep standing, because people are dying every day, and I want to be part of their healing journey and to know that I can give them hope. So you share this message for all of those haters out there. Listen, because if you need help, we'll help you too. So share this message and let's keep spreading the word. And I want to share this with you. Stand up, stand for, stand against. And listen here. So I just went 1, 2, 3, go God, like I do. And I opened it up. And this was God speaking to me. And I think he's speaking to you. So I just want to read this even under the tears right now. He's my defender. I don't have to defend myself. Whew, I'm sweating. This is God speaking, so if this is from you, listen. My child, remember my 3 things: stand up, stand for, stand against. Learning to stand. I just the other day, I just opened it up to this. I said, give me my inheritance word, God. Ask for your inheritance word, people. Ask for it. He'll give it to you. My child, in this next season, I am going to radically change your perspective. Listen, I'm speaking to all you out there that were so offended. In this next season, God is going to radically change your perspective. You will begin to understand both the power that is behind you as well as the power that is within you. I will teach you how to stand on the word of your God. Know that as you stand on my word, so at the same time you will stand on the evil one. I have put a sword in your hand and confession and proclamation upon your lips. And I'm telling you what, I make declarations every day. You are learning to stand, Andrea, in the presence of God and those I send to assist you. Know that you are being watched over and protected. And listen to this. When I got done reading this, it says, therefore I say to you, and I make declarations, so I put my name in it, put your name in it. Therefore I say to you, Andrea, stand up, stand upon, and stand against, and you shall prevail. Not because of me, not because of my might, not because of my willpower, not because I'm smart or whatever, because of him. Because he who lives in me is greater than he who lives in the world. And no weapon formed against me or my family or our company or Dr. Helu or all the people that we help will form. None of it will prosper in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. And I pray right now, as I have been praying for every one of you, all your cursing, your hateful words, your disdain towards me, towards my family, towards my church, towards anything. I bless you as you curse me. I bless you right now in the name of Jesus. I sit every morning with communion because I learned this from my pastor. And I name you. I may not know your name, but I know I say that person there. I might only go by your Instagram name because I don't know any other name. And I say this person here and I say, bless them. Bless them, Lord. Bless them. And if they have a family, if they have children, their business, if they're out of work, God, bless them during this time. Give them more than they can ever imagine. So, thank you. Thank you for letting me know who you are so that I can pray for you and bless you. And what God's going to do, he's going to do. I don't have to do it. Oh, I hope this resonated with you. I love my health community here. You know, we've got almost 20,000 people. It's a small community. It's a bigger community than compared to a lot, but it's a small community compared to so many. But the word's getting out, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep pushing. And there will be times there's going to be more controversial posts and things that people get upset about, and it's going to be okay. And you don't have to agree with me. You know, I mean, and for those of you on there, like, just if they're on there, you can't reason. So it's okay. Just like stop, and it's all right. Let's move on. Let's move forward. We've got so much more to do. I pray you share this. I really do, because people need to hear this. They need to know that there's opportunity for them. You know, the enemy would like nothing more than for me to just turn off Instagram, turn off what I'm doing, and to never help another person help save their life again, or their families, or to just bring truth. And but I ain't gonna do it. I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter. I was designed and made for the front lines. But I know that my God is with me. And I know that he's standing in front of me. He's standing beside me. He's standing behind me. He's there when I get up in the morning. He's there when I lie down at night. I know he's there. And I know I'm going to go through stuff. And I knew that when I went on this journey of health and talking about things that were contrary to what is deemed normal and right in the world, that it was going to be tough. And I know that the road ahead is not going to be any easier. But you know what? This is what I know. This is what I know. And I know that it would be harder for me to step out of the will of God than to be in the will of God and have to go through this. So I'm here. I'm here to stay. And I appreciate you. I really do. And I bless you in Jesus' name. I pray you have a magnificent time, and don't miss what God is doing in this time. Don't miss what he's doing. And one of my clients called it a holy hush. And I love that. So don't miss what's happening in this holy hush time. I don't want to miss a moment of it. And I pray for all of you all the time. Like, I don't just pray for the haters out there. I pray for all of you. I pray for my health community out there. Some of you I know, I call you out by name, but it doesn't mean that there's any less when I call out my health community, because you're all part of it. And so I hope more people become part of this. And so we just lost 300 people. I don't know who they were. But you know what? We just made room for 300 more. Actually, somebody said triple. So we just made room for 900 more people to come on board and bring hope to. So I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. I may come on tomorrow night, but if not, next Thursday, don't forget, I have a special guest, Cortland, and we're going to be talking about oral health, which is so important, holistic hygienist from Nashville. So please join us next week, and I love you all. I'm going to get off of here so I can actually save it, and then we'll also put this on my YouTube. All right, and Dr. Helu and I, just to let you know, we are working on another free, that's right, free, F-R-E-E, free PDF for you guys, another ebook, for you guys to be able to download. So we're working on that. Can't wait to share that with you guys. Your health is in your hands, and we can help you with that. So God bless, take care, stay in the Word, get low, don't be hard to offend, and just remember here, every revival introduces a new reason to be offended. God bless.